You're on the air with Florenza, your podcast destination for authentic conversations with a twist. So, grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and join me on this unique literary journey. Cheers!
Today's guest is the visionary behind Show Up and Shine, Andrea Harrison. She's not just a coach, she's a catalyst who turns clarity into calling and potential into purpose. Please put your hands together and welcome Andrea to the show. I am so excited, Andrea, to talk to you. And listen, I am loving everything about what's going on, from the glasses to the pink fuchsia-ish wall. Honey, I mean, you've got a pink wall. That is phenomenal. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that wall. Before we dive in, talk about you, everything that you do, because I am so intrigued. Talk about your book, Show Up and Shine. We are going to toast to an amazing show. And I've got a little Chardonnay that is kind of left over from a previous interview that I did earlier today. I didn't refresh. So you have already ready. Is that tea or coffee or?
It's actually water.
Water.
I drink water all day, every day. So
yes. Well, listen, cheers.
Cheers.
I also have my water here as well. Got my water. And Andrea, tell us a little bit about yourself, and not only about your book, but what is it that you want the reader to take away from your book?
So my name is Andrea Harrison. I am the Chief Shine Officer and Show Up Strategist for Shine with Andrea. And I was born in the Bronx, New York City, and I lived there until I was 29 and moved to Florida.
Oh.
I did not expect to move here. I was a paralegal for over 25 years, and I was down here on vacation right before moving down here. I was down here on vacation, and the firm that I was managing in Harlem, my attorney, I called in just to see how everything was going, and they were dismantling the firm. Something happened, and they were dismantling the firm. And so I was actually on the phone with my mom at the time, telling her what happened. I was sitting in my aunt's house, and she was right there with me. And at the same time, they both said to me, "You need to move to Florida." And I said, "Who? Me?
I'm a New Yorker."
This? No way. And here I am. I moved down here September 11th, 2000.
Oh.
And I've been down here ever since. I am married. I married my husband. I met him a few months after moving here, and we got married 8 months after meeting each other. And we have an amazing, a phenomenal miracle daughter. She is about to turn 19 next month. She's done some incredible things with her life.
Mm-hmm.
Even when she was 7 years old, God gave her the opportunity to do some really incredible things. And so my life is my husband and my daughter. I just recently lost my mom, my best friend, my everything, in May. It has totally crushed me, crushed my heart.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm doing everything that I can to choose joy every day, and everything that I can to continue to show up and shine, because I know that's what she would want me to do. And so, like I said earlier, I go live every single weekday morning at 10 a.m. and I share my devotions, because that was something that God had impressed upon my heart to do.
Mm-hmm.
He was after me for a few years to do that. I ran from that assignment. I did not want to do it for various reasons. And here I am now. And we have built a community called the Shine Crew. That was birthed from the comment section of my live. And we are working on an anthology together with 13 of the women from the Shine Crew. and it should be published should be published before the end of this month. And I just, like I say all the time, I'm a girl from the Bronx who wants to make God proud.
Oh, I love
And
that.
so, as far as my book is concerned,
Yes.
um, I've been wanting to write this book for about 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought that the book would actually ever be finished. I never thought that I would ever become a published author. I just didn't think that it was possible when I was a kid. I wanted to write a book. Let me back up. When I was a kid, I really didn't see, um, I didn't see, and I didn't know any authors.
Yeah.
When you have books, I had encyclopedias and I had, access to a lot of books, but I never knew anybody that actually wrote a book.
One. Yeah.
So I didn't have that representation. So I didn't ever think that it was possible. I always felt like it was such a big, something I could never, that was not for me to do. It didn't even come up as a question, could I write a book? But it was later on down, maybe in about 2018, I met someone, and she actually helped people write books, like a writing coach. And that was the first time that I thought, wow, I could write a book. And I initially wanted to tell the story of the miracle of our daughter. And then over the past few years, when the pandemic happened, I actually, right before the pandemic happened, I actually hired a writing coach to help me to write a book. But then the pandemic happened and it kind of fizzled out. And so then in October of last year, I met someone who came to me and said, God told me that I need to help you write your book. And I'm like, how did you know to write the book or why write a book? And so fast forward to January of this year, I had an urgency to get the book done after my mother was admitted into the hospital. And she was admitted in January. And other than for a couple, maybe about a month or two, where she came home, she had been bedridden the entire time. And other than for probably about maybe 30 to 40 days, she came home, and my husband and I and my daughter, we cared for her here, but she was bedridden the entire time. And during that time, I had this urgency to get the book done. And so it was actually published on April 10th. And she went home to be with the Lord on May 15th. And so this book is, my heart's desire is that every woman know that they are enough, that they are worthy, that they are God's masterpiece, and that they can be a work in progress and his masterpiece at the same time. And I want every woman to be able to come out of that hiding place and know that their voice matters and that they carry something that is unique to them, that God placed in them for them to bring it out into the world, to allow other women to see them shine and give them permission that they really don't need, but give them permission to say, wow, if she can do it, I can do it. And so this book is, like I said, I was writing it for 10, 12, 17 hours at a time. And I shared some stories, and the ones that I shared from my childhood, my mom actually texted me these stories while she was in the hospital in the middle of the night. So that's something I'm always going to hold, dear to my heart, that she was able to share stories. Some of them I didn't even know or didn't remember, because I was so young.
Right.
So
what was it like holding the book in your hand in the space that you are there and your mom is there and she's seeing the fruition of what you once thought impossible?
It's funny, the day that Amazon delivered the book, the author's copy, we were sitting near the front door, and I actually had the door open. Um, and it was the first time that she had been out of the house. We had just come back from taking her to a doctor's appointment. And it was the first time in a couple of months where she had been out of the house. And that in and of itself was a lot.
Yeah.
And so she didn't want to just go back into her bedroom. She didn't want to just get back into the bed. And so we sat there right near the door, the two of us. And when the Amazon guy came, the door was already open. And I knew it was being delivered because, of course, I'm checking
Yeah.
my phone every 30
Right.
seconds, right? And when he came, I just broke down and I cried. And at the same time, I was filled with so much joy. And to have her right there next to me, and I
Yes.
just kept saying, Mommy, 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 oh my gosh. And I think I scared the Amazon driver. I think I scared him. But it really was so much joy,
Yeah.
so much joy, because like I said, I didn't think it could happen, but here it is. I had the book in
Yeah.
my hand and then was able to give it to my mom for her to hold in her hand. The only regret I have is that I didn't take a picture of her
Ah.
with it.
Mhm.
But she was so proud. She was so proud and so happy. And I read a lot of it to her. And so that
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll carry that
Oh.
forever in my heart.
Oh. Oh my gosh. I felt that. I felt that. And for her to see you walk in your own shine moment,
Yes.
right? And to be a part of that and to experience that. That's just phenomenal. What did your daughter say?
Oh, she just keeps telling me. I mean, she keeps telling me, "I'm so proud of you, mommy." She was excited, and it was her last year of high school, and so she was, had a lot going on between, you know, drama and band and her art and everything that her photography, everything she was doing. And so she was really, really busy. But she kept telling me, Mommy, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. And she went to Korea and to Japan and spent her summer there after she graduated from high school. And she actually took some pictures of my book in Korea and in
Nice.
Japan, and that just made me feel so good, that she would do that. And she took a picture of herself reading the book in a cafe in Korea as well. So that was pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Talk to us about what you are hearing from women who are reading the book and having that same experience spiritually that you had physically with your mother holding your book, your daughter holding your book, and that legacy experience taking place. Talk to me about what are some of the responses that you're receiving and how does that affect you?
So it's been, it's the response has been overwhelming
Yeah,
in a good way,
yeah,
but it really has been overwhelming because, like I said, I'm just this girl from the Bronx, who wants to make God proud. And I don't say that to minimize who I
yeah,
am or the power that I carry that God has placed on the inside of me. But I'm just me. I'm just this girl, this little girl, that grew up in the Bronx. And here I am, an author.
yeah,
And so when I get these messages from women and they tell me that they've read the book 2 times, they're on their third time,
yeah.
or I get a message that says, look what I did to my book. That's the reason my book is
I
tabbed.
see that. Yes.
My book is tabbed because I had one of my readers say, I take your book with me every day to work. I carry it with me every single day. And I've tabbed it. And I said, what do you, you've tabbed it? What do you mean? Like, because I couldn't even think that she's saying what I think she's saying.
Yeah.
And I said, I need to see a picture. And so she posted a picture. She showed me. And I was like, why didn't I think of that? I immediately ordered tabs and started tabbing my book. And to hear people say that it's exactly what they needed to hear, to read. I have one lady that she said to me, she said, do you have like cameras in my house? Like, are you watching? She's like, she told me that, as she was reading the book, that it just felt so real to her. And she's actually, this one particular woman has shared my book with so many women. She asked me, she said, I'm speaking at a women's conference. Do you mind if I speak from your book, if I make references? I said, of course not. That is my heart's desire, to get this book into the hands of women everywhere. And so she bought 10 books and she handed them out to people as gifts. And then she came back and she bought 10 more. And then everywhere she goes, she takes the book, she shares it with women. And then she sent me this picture of about maybe 15 women. And they're all dressed up. It's after church. And they're all smiling. And they're all reading my book. And so, when I hear all of the stories, and I hear how my book has impacted the lives of so many women, it's
overwhelming.
It is overwhelming. I mean, I usually shed a few tears of joy, because I just can't believe that God could use me the way that He has.
Yes.
And so, it never gets old. I'm a gift giver, and I love, to give someone a gift, and I love to watch them open. I love that. And so I've asked, anyone that I could come in contact with, knowing that they're, like I know them and they're buying the book. And I say, could you just take a picture or send me a video? And when I look at it, I just watch it over and over, because it's like so overwhelming to think that I could have a small part, I could be a part of their journey. On what God is doing in them, what God is stirring up in them, and where He's taken them, and all of the other women that they will impact. That's just so huge for me.
What would you say to younger Andrea, who, even without knowing it, dreamt of being used in a way that would impact the world, and to know that you are doing that? What would you say to her? Or what do you think she would say to you now that you understand what it took for this impact to be a reality?
I would tell her that she is worthy. I would tell her that she is loved. And I would tell her to hold on, that God has a plan for your life that is going to be bigger than you could ever imagine. And just hold on and push past your quit. And just know that God has a hope and a future and a plan for your life. And you don't have to make yourself small. You don't have to hide. You don't have to play the background or hang out, in the shadows. That you are enough. And I would tell her, you are not too much.
All right now. Yes.
You are not too much. You don't need anything extra, because you are the extra. And
Yes.
I would tell her, I would sit her down and I would hold her face and I would make sure that she understood that her extra is okay
Yeah.
and that she doesn't have to dim her light to make other people feel comfortable.
Comfortable. Yes. 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 Snap, snap. Where's the tambourine? Come on now. We could collect offering because we had church. We had church. Oh my gosh. When you were writing the book and the urgency that you felt and experienced in those hours, and I know what it's like to put in those 12, 14, 18, 24, 36 hours that you just feel like you just can't breathe until you get it out of your soul and you just can't explain it. When you were writing that and in that space, could you ever had imagined that it would be what it became?
No, no, not at all. Because, this is coming from someone who didn't even think that she could write a book.
Mhm.
And I just didn't, the fact that, okay, we got it published and I was excited about that. I just didn't, I couldn't see the impact that it's had. And I mean, we're talking, this is just a few months.
Yeah.
This is just what, like 7 months or 6 months since it's been published. And yeah, no. But I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
So grateful.
Nice. Now, did you ever send that legal team that you work for a thank you present for folding and orchestrating? They're like,
No,
here you go, thank you.
no, but I had been in touch with, I have been in touch with the attorney, and I have told him, thank you so much. Because, sometimes we are not going to leave a place.
Yeah.
And so sometimes God, we question why'd you take me out of New York? Why did you move me?
Yeah.
Because he knows what's going to happen in our future.
Yes.
And sometimes we get so comfortable, we get so complacent.
Yeah.
And we don't want to, because we're afraid of the unknown. We're afraid we don't know what's going to happen, right? And so we want to stay in this comfort zone and stay in this place where we know what's here and we don't know what's out there. Yeah. So we're just going to stay right here. And sometimes that's why things happen. And I'm glad that it did. I wouldn't have been able to tell you that then.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that it did. So my mom, she had always told me, she said, you got to get out of New York. Your husband is not here.
Oh.
She said, your husband is not here. And like I said, I moved down here in September. I met him in February and we were married by October.
Yeah.
And, we weren't rushing into anything, but we just knew, that this was it.
That was it. Yeah. And I love that. I love how even when we don't know that God is orchestrating our steps and we pray the prayer, God, go before us, make the crooked path straight. Your goodness and your grace follows me. Your mercies are new. And oh my Lord, we know Jabez coming and going. I mean, we get quoted within the minute. We have to get off that familiar path. And it goes both ways. Where are the listeners able to engage with you and to learn more about what you're doing, and just to connect with you?
So shinewithandrea.com, that's my website. And if you want to get on my email list and stay in touch and be in the loop, you could go to shinewithandrea.com/shine up. So just get shined up.
Shined up.
Get shined up. And I'm Shine with Andrea, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. And like I said, you can come hang out with me on TikTok every morning at 10 a.m. If you want to just, listen to some worship music, and I share my devotions. But yeah, shinewithandrea.com. That's my website.
Talk to us about coming up with the title. Was the title always there, or did you have to wrestle with God to say, oh no, we can't name it that?
Yeah, that's exactly it. You haven't known me very long, but you've got me pegged. You know, I didn't want my name to be in it. I felt kind of weird, Shine with Andrea.
Yeah.
But what he impressed upon my heart is that is who I've always been.
Always.
That's who I've always been. I'm always the person, dragging everybody. Come on, let's go. Let's do this. Come on, let's do that. And I got to a point where I was shining.
Yeah.
It took me a while. But I got to a point where I was shining for God's glory. And I wanted other women and men to shine along with me. And so at first, yes, I was uncomfortable with it. But someone said to me, Andrea, you're like the girl in the front with the flashlight. And you're like, come on. Let's go, and you have the flashlight and you're shining the light. You're a trailblazer, and you're setting the path for the rest of us. And it wasn't until we started building this. Well, we didn't build it. It just happened. God built it. When we built this community out of the comment sections of my lives, where women started going live, because I had first started using 100 Days of Believing Bigger. Mm-hmm. It's a devotional journal by Marshawn Evans Daniels, and I read it 4 times. So that's 400 days.
Yeah.
With my community live. And because I did that, there were so many other women who went and got the book, and then they went live with their community and they read the book. And then the people in their community went live to do the same thing, mm-hmm. all because one person finally said yes.
Yes.
And so, to me, that's incredible. But like I said, I'm grateful.
Yeah.
I'm grateful that we have impacted the world the way that we have, our mm-hmm. world, our community, our online space.
Love it. Now, your ecosystem, you've got Shine with Andrea, you've got the Shine Academy, and the Shine Effect. That's the anthology.
Yes.
How do these platforms reinforce the message that you want to get out to the community?
It's all based on my book, Show Up and Shine. It's all based on the book, Show Up and Shine. So when I do my devotions, everything, like this past week, we were talking about the shine lessons that we learned from the life of Job. Last week, it was Esther. The week before that, it was shine lessons, and as it relates to a child of God, having the mindset of God. And so everything that I teach, everything that comes out of anything that I do, it's so that women can show up boldly, and that's the S, and the H is I want them to learn to honor their gifts, inspire through authenticity, navigate with purpose, and elevate others as they rise. And so it's all connected. It's all connected.
Love it. Love it. What would you say to a woman right now listening, or they've stumbled upon your weekday praise fest, and they're like, you just don't understand. I can't be that promoter of myself, of my shine, because of X, Y, and Z?
A lot of people that I meet say they don't want to be live on social media. They're not, they weren't built for the camera. That's not where they want to be. And the thing is that sometimes, Florenza, showing up can mean just getting out of bed.
Yes. Yeah.
Sometimes it can mean just getting out of the bed, putting your 2 feet on the floor.
Yeah.
And so it's not, I'm loud and I'm proud and I'm extra. And I embrace all of that now, because I was always told, you're too loud. Why are you so loud? Why are you always talking? Why do you always have something to say?
Because I got something to say.
Exactly. But everybody is not like that.
Mm-hmm.
My mother was very quiet, but she had an inner strength.
Mm-hmm.
That so she showed up and shined in her way.
Yeah.
And so what I want for women to do is I want them to have a little talk with Jesus.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I want them to know who they are, because when there's more.
Yeah.
When you're not showing full, you're not showing full up, right?
Yep.
And so I want women to come out of those comfort zones, and I want them to show up and shine in whatever capacity that God has called them to. And it might not be in a position where you have to promote yourself. It might be, God might show you somebody or a group of people where you can go and serve and teach somebody else, just by your example, what it looks like to show up, what it looks like to show somebody else by your example. Just knowing that, walking in that confidence that you're worthy, that you were created for more.
Nice. My last question for you, because listen, we can talk forever. I am loving this. Since launching the live show in June 2023, what reoccurring visibility challenges do you hear most from your audience, and what your favorite quick win that they can try to do this week, let's say next week, because this week-ish?
So what quick win
Mm-hmm.
that, like, something that they can implement right away?
Mm-hmm.
Well, one thing that I would say is grab the book. And this book is not just a book. It's a book of stories, yes, but I have an entire chapter on branding.
Okay.
There are worksheets in the book for you to help you to find your brand voice, to find your message. And so there's also a an exercise in here called the 5 pillars of your brand, and figuring out and identifying the things that you're passionate about, that you value, your values, all of that good stuff. And so I would say grab the book and get yourself a highlighter and some tabs.
And some tabs.
And another thing that I have gotten is one of these little Post-it notes with the lines, because you can write certain things and then put it inside the book. And so we talk about the things that we want to do. And like I said, I've got a whole book of ideas on things that I want to do, but this book will help you to implement, because it's like a guide. And so a quick win is grabbing the book and just starting to read it. And it's not the type of book that you have to read from the front cover to back cover. You can pick any chapter and read it and not feel like you're out of place. And that was intentional. So that to me is a quick win. Because it is going to impact your life. It will impact your life. And it will make it. This is the way somebody explained it to me. They said this book was a mirror. And so it's going to make you look at yourself, and, you're going to come face to face with who you are. You're going to be thinking about who you used to be. But more importantly, this is going to help you to not become something that you're not, but become more of who God created you to be. To me, that's a quick win.
I love it. I just want to say this has been amazing, and I am so glad that we had the opportunity.
And this wraps up another episode of On the Air with Florenza. You may follow me on all social media platforms under Florenza Lee or via my website at florenza.org. Until next time, cheers.